All right, so let's get right into it. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something I think every cat owner has wondered about at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Why do cats lick us? Is it affection? Are they just weird? Could they actually think we taste good?
Interesting.
I mean, who knows? But we're going to try to find out today.
Okay.
Our source material for this deep dive is an article called Why Do Cats Lick You?
Oh.
From the blog Quick Update by a writer named Artado. And it was published January 19th of this year.
Oh, wow. So it's
Yeah, so it's recent.
very recent.
The author actually uses their own cat, Luna, to illustrate some of the points.
Oh, cool.
So we'll be hearing about her throughout this deep dive.
I love that when they have personal anecdotes like that.
Yeah, me too.
It makes it much more relatable.
Totally. And I think it makes it more fun, too.
For sure.
So one of the things that the article starts off with is this concept of allo-grooming,
Okay.
which is essentially cats grooming each other.
Right.
But it's not just about hygiene.
Right. No, not at all. I mean, allo-grooming, when you really think about it,
Yeah.
it's so ingrained in their evolution.
Yeah.
They theorize that it comes from, their wildcat ancestors.
Oh, interesting.
Where it was so important for, keeping the group clean and their social cohesion.
Well, so like within the whole pride or whatever.
Exactly. And, with our
Yeah.
domesticated cats,
Yeah.
it's really become like a ritual to reinforce those social bonds,
Oh.
and strengthen the relationships.
So like within their little family, which includes us.
Exactly. They see you as part of their family.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's like they're initiating you into the pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when my cat's giving me a bath with that little sandpaper tongue, they're like, you're one of us.
Exactly. They're saying, hey, I trust you.
I love that.
You're my buddy. Yeah.
So there's this part of the article where the author's cat, Luna, is licking her arm.
Okay.
And the author kind of wonders if Luna was trying to be helpful and get a spot that she couldn't reach.
Oh, that's so cute.
Like maybe like on her back or something.
Yeah. That's really interesting because,
Yeah.
cats are so meticulous when it comes to grooming.
Yeah.
Like, they'll often help each other out with those hard-to-reach spots.
Oh, so maybe Luna was actually trying to help.
Yeah, exactly. Like, here, let me get that for you.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I know, right?
So maybe those sandpapery licks aren't always so bad.
Right. I know I've gotten some pretty rough ones.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But I try to think of it as, like, a love nip.
Yeah, totally.
Little rough love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The article also mentions that licking isn't always directed at other cats or even at us.
Right.
Sometimes it's just them like self-seething.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, any animal, they experience stress and anxiety.
Oh, of course.
And licking, especially like self-licking,
Yeah.
it can be their way to calm down.
Really?
Yeah.
Like regulate their emotions.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like their meditation.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So if my cat's like grooming themselves more than usual, is that something I should be worried about?
I would say it's worth paying attention to.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, sudden or excessive changes in their grooming habits,
Yeah.
it could be a sign that something's stressing them out.
Oh.
So think about has their routine changed?
Okay.
Like, is there a new pet in the house?
Okay.
Maybe loud noises,
Mhm.
unfamiliar smells.
Okay. So just like anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, exactly. Any kind of change in their environment
Okay.
that could be bothering them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now for a less sentimental theory,
Okay.
the article suggests that maybe we just taste good to cats.
Well, our skin does have traces of sweat and salt and oils.
Yeah, that's true.
And, don't forget about lotions.
Oh, yeah.
Or even remnants of our last meal.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah. So, to a cat's super sensitive nose,
Yeah.
we're like this walking buffet
Oh, my gosh.
of aromas.
Really?
Yeah. And remember, yeah.
Their sense of smell is like 14 times stronger than ours.
Wow.
So what might be a faint trace of something to us
Yeah.
could be like, tantalizing to them.
So we're like walking salt licks to them.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my God.
And that's not even considering like the
Yeah.
natural oils and scents that our skin produces.
So if your cat is licking you a lot, you might want to think about the scented products you're using.
Yeah, exactly. Like switching to unscented products.
Oh.
Or just, washing your hands thoroughly
Okay.
after you handle food or put on lotion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
But licking isn't always about grooming or snacking, right?
right.
The article talks about territory marking,
Yeah.
which honestly feels a little possessive for my liking.
It's not as menacing as it sounds.
Okay.
Remember those scent glands we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, they have them in their mouths, too.
Oh.
So when they lick you,
Yeah.
they're basically depositing their scent onto your skin,
Oh.
which marks you as part of their territory. So it's their way of saying, like, this one's mine.
In a way, yeah, but it's more like,
Okay.
this one's part of the crew. It's like,
Okay.
it's very subtle to us, but other cats can pick up on it.
So other cats are like, oh, this one belongs to so-and-so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's their way of like establishing their presence
Yeah.
and kind of integrating you into their little social sphere.
That's interesting.
And, cheek rubbing serves a similar purpose.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, they have scent glands in their cheeks, too. So when they're rubbing against you,
Yeah.
they're leaving those scent markers as well.
So they're marking their territory on us.
Exactly. It's like their own personal branding campaign.
I guess I'd rather be branded than sprayed.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll take it.
Exactly.
The article also mentions a connection between licking and maternal instincts.
Right. It makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like mother cats, they lick their kittens constantly.
You clean them.
Right. It's how they clean them. Stimulate their bodily functions.
Right.
Provide comfort.
Yeah.
So, for cats that were separated from their mothers early or just have those really strong nurturing instincts,
Yeah.
licking their human companions might be a way of seeking out that same nurturing sensation.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So, like Luna from the article,
Yeah.
who was adopted when she was pretty young.
Right, exactly. So it could be their way of fulfilling those innate maternal urges.
Wow.
They're recreating that feeling of warmth and security they experienced as kittens.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know.
Ah.
It really is.
So we've covered grooming, stress relief, snacking,
Mm-hmm.
territory marking, and maternal instincts.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's a lot more to it than I thought.
Right.
Is there anything else we should know about why cats lick?
Well, there's definitely more to explore, like what happens when all that affection, those licks,
Yeah.
gets to be a bit much.
Right. Like, I love my cat, but I don't really want my entire arm exfoliated every time they decide to cuddle up with me on the couch.
Right.
The article talks about setting boundaries with those cats that are maybe a little too affectionate.
Yeah, it's important to find that balance.
What do you do?
Well, one of the simplest things you can try is distraction.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if your cat starts going overboard with the licking, try redirecting their attention with a toy or a puzzle feeder
Okay.
or even just like a good old-fashioned play session.
Oh, so just getting that energy out in a different way.
Exactly. Cats are curious and playful by nature.
Yeah.
So engaging their mind and body can sometimes be enough to shift their focus away from,
Yeah.
licking you.
But what if they're just laser focused on giving me a bath and nothing else seems to work?
Well, in those cases, you can try gently guiding their head away
Okay.
and maybe offering a soothing pet instead.
So like acknowledging the affection, but also communicating that maybe we'd prefer a different form of interaction.
Exactly. You're basically saying like, hey, I appreciate the love, but maybe we can just cuddle for now.
Got it. So what if they're just relentless?
Sometimes you need a more direct approach.
Okay.
So if they just keep licking you, even after you've tried distracting them or redirecting them,
Yeah.
it might be time to just calmly remove yourself from the situation.
Okay. So like a little timeout.
Yeah, exactly. And cats are smart.
Yeah.
They can learn to associate, certain behaviors with outcomes.
Oh, interesting.
So by consistently disengaging when the licking gets to be too much,
Yeah.
you're sending a clear message that this behavior isn't always going to get the desired response.
So it's about like positive reinforcement.
Exactly. You want to reward the behaviors that you like and discourage the ones that are a little much.
Gotcha. So finding that balance that works for both of you.
Exactly.
Now, the article also mentioned providing alternative things for them to lick.
Right. That can be really helpful for cats that just seem to have this insatiable need to lick,
Yeah.
even if it's not directed at you.
Yeah, like my cat will lick blankets.
Exactly. And there are products out there like grooming gloves
Ooh.
or textured toys
Okay.
that can give them an outlet for that,
Yeah.
oral fixation without it being,
Right.
your skin.
So it's like giving them their own designated licking zone.
Yeah, pretty much. And a lot of times these alternatives can be fun.
Oh.
You can turn it into like a bonding
Oh,
activity.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I have a question that's completely unrelated to licking.
Okay.
But why do cat tongues feel like sandpaper?
It's a great question. It all comes down to those tiny little barbs on their tongue.
Oh, yeah.
They're called papillae.
Papille.
Yeah, and they face backwards.
Oh.
And they're made of keratin.
Keratin.
Yeah. the same protein that makes up our fingernails and hair.
Oh, so their tongues are basically covered in tiny claws.
You could say that, yeah.
And so what's the purpose of those?
Well, first and foremost, they act like a built-in grooming tool.
Oh.
Super efficient for getting rid of loose fur and dirt and debris.
Oh, wow. So all that sandpapery action is actually helping them stay clean?
Exactly.
Wow.
But there's another, more primal reason for those papillae.
Okay.
Cats are obligate carnivores.
Yeah.
Which means their bodies are designed to thrive on a meat-based diet.
Okay. So how do the barbs play into that?
They're also really good at stripping meat from bones.
Oh.
Like they act as little hooks, helping them get every last morsel.
Wow. So they're like an all-in-one tool.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a fascinating glimpse into their,
Yeah.
evolutionary history.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that,
yeah.
our cats are descended from wild predators.
Exactly.
Wow, we've learned so much about those sandpapery cat tongues today, haven't we?
Yeah, it's amazing, Ray.
I have to admit, before we started this deep dive, I mostly thought about cat licking as just like affection, like a furry little kiss.
Yeah.
But now it just feels like a whole new level of communication.
It really is. It's fascinating.
Yeah, those licks are telling us something.
Definitely.
It's a message that goes way beyond affection.
Absolutely. And, we often try to interpret animal behavior through a human lens.
Right, of course.
But cats experience and express themselves in their own way.
Yeah, that's true.
And those licks, those sandpapery little gestures, they're like a window into that feline world.
Yeah, like they're trying to tell us something?
Exactly. It's a message of trust, connection, belonging.
Aw.
A reminder that even though we're different species,
Yeah.
and we communicate in different ways,
Right.
we form this bond that's ancient and enduring.
Wow. Sometimes the most profound forms of communication have nothing to do with words.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
what's the biggest takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is to appreciate those little feline gestures. Don't just dismiss them as random or meaningless.
Yeah.
It's a window into their world, a way for them to connect with us and share their feelings.
It's like their way of talking to us.
Exactly.
The next time your cat graces you with one of those sandpaper kisses,
Yeah.
really think about what they're trying to tell you. It might be more than you think.
Absolutely. And remember, there's always more to discover about the amazing creatures we share our lives with.
So true.
So keep observing, keep asking questions, and keep cherishing those bonds.
Well said. I think this deep dive has given us a whole new appreciation for those little feline licks.
Me too.
And a little more insight into the mysterious minds of our cats.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us. And until next time, happy deep diving.